guys, it's Shayla again from Freckle Finance, and today Wendy Valencia had actually tagged me in a video asking questions about grocery budgets. If you haven't checked her out already, I will link her down below so that you can go check her out. She is working towards paying off, I think her starting point was somewhere around $300,000 in debt, and she has put a major dent into that. She's currently living at home with her parents, with her husband and her daughter, and they're looking at their budget when they move out, and she wanted some questions answered from other finance YouTubers about how they handle their grocery budgets. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you click that subscribe button below. I upload videos on personal finance, financial independence, and lifestyle videos. So let's get right into the video. She mentioned in her video that she watches Jordan Page from Fun, Frugal, and Cheap, something like that. I will link her channel down below as well because I do also watch her. And Jordan Page had said that she budgets $100 per person in her household per month. And Wendy Valencia feels like that's not very much. So let's just get started. She has a list of 10 questions. I just have my laptop right here and I will be answering them. So her first question is, how much do you think is reasonable and why? So I don't have a specific amount that I have per person or anything like that. If you are new to my channel or you're not super familiar with me, we have not been in debts for I think around 6 years now. I actually don't know our payoff date because we were never in a lot of debt in the first place. But yeah, we haven't been in debt for a long time, except now we have a mortgage. So depending on how you feel about mortgages, we do have that as a debt. And we're not on a very tight budget. So I just kind of go with it. I just try to do what I think is reasonable. And also, I really enjoy cooking. I enjoy having tasty foods, and I think having taken that away from me would be really hard. So for me, if I were to be on a tighter budget where I really had to be strict, I would do $200 per person, but I obviously would not count my 5-month-old as an entire person. I mean, I have to eat about 500 extra calories to feed him, so he'd be like a quarter person basically. And that would be for a tight budget. Now, if you've seen my budget videos, you probably know that I budget $400 a month, approximately, depending on the month. So the thing is though, my husband does not eat a lot of food from our house. So yeah, he doesn't have a lot of food here. And so the $400 that I spend is a lot for me, and then on weekends with him. So he's kind of like Now, keeping in mind for also those who are not familiar, Wendy and I both live in very, very high cost of living places. Doing $100 a month would be extremely tight. It would be like rice and beans type budgets, $100 per person. Second question, which I already kind of touched on, is do the food budgets depend on the cost of living in your area? And absolutely. I don't know if you guys watch J Morrell. I can also link her down below. She has, I think, 8 children now. It's 7 or 8. I'm sorry, I can't totally keep track. And she does these massive grocery budgets, and I think she spends $600 to $800 a month, and that's for like a family of 10, right? So she's under the $100 budget, but the cost of things that she has to buy are so cheap. I feel like she can get a dozen eggs for like 75 cents, maybe even less, like 30 cents, something ridiculous. I should watch her channel, watch her grocery hauls. They're very long, but she buys a ton of stuff. And for me, if I go to the cheapest store I can buy eggs at, I think the cheapest I've gotten it for is $1.50. And one time I found a coupon for 75 cents for a dozen eggs. So it really, really depends. And also in like Canada, where I'm originally from, $100 pretty much anywhere would be impossible per person. Not impossible, but very difficult, because groceries tend to be more expensive in Canada. However, groceries compared to here is still more expensive than Canada though, where I was from, which is downtown Toronto. Like the expensive grocery store in downtown Toronto, I am still spending the exact same amount of money. Question number 3 is, do you use any places like Zycon Fresh for bulk meat purchasing? She also mentioned that Costco could be included in that. So I do use Costco. I don't specifically always use Costco for bulk meat purchases. Currently, we do not have a big freezer or anything. We are waiting for the builders to finish the flooring in our garage so that we can actually set up the storage in our garage, and I'm going to get a freezer And then I can really start focusing on getting more meat. But I will buy the bulk size of meat from Costco if there's, like, usually honestly I just get chicken and maybe turkey or chicken ground meat, because that's basically the main of what I use. But I don't buy any other meats in bulk, and if I had a bigger freezer I probably could, but I just can't prioritize it at this point. But specifically Zycon Fresh, no. If I recall, and I didn't look this up before starting this video, but I have looked into it because a lot of people have talked about it, and I've looked into similar things like this. And I believe Zycon Fresh, they have different days of the week at different locations near you that you can pick up certain items, like certain meat in like very bulk sizes, and you have to drive there, and by that point I don't think it's worth it. I also have tried Imperfect Produce, which I don't believe, I may have posted on Instagram, but I don't believe I ever talked about on the channel. And while that's not meat, that's produce, I also was not happy with the pricing for that. I felt like I could just get just as well and not have to worry about getting a certain amount of food to meet my like spending requirements, and also having to meal plan by the time that I had to pick the produce and having to select with whatever produce they have. Now, that depends on your style of how you plan and do grocery shopping, but for me personally, Imperfect Produce does not work. Number 4 is, do you shop at Costco, Sam's, or BJ's, and do you think it raises or lowers your budget? So I have no idea what BJ's is. I don't think we have that here. If anyone's familiar with the Bay Area, let me know. Sam's Club I've also never been to, and I don't think, like, Walmart's not too popular around here. We're more of like a Target area around here. But definitely Costco. Love, love, love my Costco membership. Now, does it raise or lower my budget? I don't know. I feel like, so this is, I love Costco, and here's the thing. There are certain things about Costco that I like that are not related to lowering my budget specifically. First of all, a lot of their brand, a lot of like the Kirkland brand items are actually really, really good quality, sometimes better quality than the name brands. And they're a company that's far more strict about who's producing their items, etc. I think like Costco is one of the places where olive oil is actually real olive oil, like 100% olive oil is real 100% olive oil, whereas a lot of olive oil elsewhere actually has a lot of fake stuff in it, like filler. Huge problem in the food industry, just having filler and everything. But another very key point is Costco pays their staff well. I don't see the staff looking miserable while they're there, and I'm okay if it even costs me a little bit extra sometimes to pay for that. But generally I find the Kirkland brand foods and items to be very, very good quality for my price. So if we were basing it off similar quality, I do feel like it saves me money. But if you were working on like really trying to get your grocery budget down, I'm not sure that Costco would save money. And plus, every time I go to Costco, I spend way more than I plan on it. Do you coupon or shop sales flyers? So I don't shop sales flyers because for me, I either have very little time that I can have away from my son, or I'm bringing my son with me. So I usually just pick my go-to stores like Costco. I will go to Trader Joe's, but it's further away from me now, so I don't go as often. Grocery Outlet, and then Safeway is just really close and usually has pretty much everything I need. So those are my main stores that I shop at, and I don't really look for coupons per se. What I do is I will make my shopping list, and if I'm going to Safeway, I will check to see if they have any discounts on certain brands in the app, so that when I'm there, I can see if it actually is cheaper to get a different brand of something. But I'm not a huge fan of coupons because I think coupons can tempt you to buy things that you're not going to buy, and usually I'm buying products in a more natural state. Like, I do buy junk food or stuff as well, but I just find that most of the stuff I buy or that I'd be interested in buying just doesn't have coupons for it. Number 6, do you meal prep, and does it save money? I don't know specifically that meal prepping itself saves money, because the next question is about meal planning, so I'm going to keep them as separate. But I do meal prep. I've done meal prepping once a week, and the last time I meal prepped, I actually prepped 2 weeks worth, and I'm really liking that. But the reason I meal prep so hard right now is because just being at home all day with it can be very difficult to get food made and eaten when you're with a young child at home all the time. If I have extra food, you know, if I made more than I needed, it's frozen and I can add it into the meal plan for the next time. And so therefore I won't have to waste as much food. So I guess in that sense, it can save a lot of money. But I think if you did a weekly meal prep, or you did it for every few days and you didn't really freeze any of it and it went bad, then it's not really going to save you any money. Question number 7 is, do you plan a monthly or weekly meal plan, and does it help save money? So I change up all the time. I at least do a weekly meal plan. Like I said last time, I meal prepped for 2 weeks. So that obviously means I do a 2-week meal plan, but honestly, usually it carries over into the next week. We end up going out more, or something comes up and we need quicker food than I have because I didn't defrost it, or more people come over and I only have like 1 serving of random items or something like that. Yes, I definitely think meal planning saves more money specifically than meal prepping would, because you can prep meals from what you have at home, or just randomly go out, grocery shop, and then prep randomly, and then have all this other extra stuff that you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. So meal planning definitely helps. I've never ever done a monthly meal plan. I think that's too much of a commitment, and I change what I want so frequently. In fact, I mentioned that I meal planned and prepped for 2 weeks, and I'm kind of like eating all the good stuff, like stuff that came out really tasty first, and I'm like, ah. I have all this other like stuff that I don't really want to eat now, but I already took it out of the freezer. So this is also helping save money, because with the 2-week plan, because I can actually cook a wider variety of meals. And so it's like, instead of eating 4 of one recipe every week, I can eat 2 or 1 and freeze some and pull it out the next week, or wait 3 weeks from now and pull it out. So I'm kind of working with that, like a rotation thing. But this doesn't work as much for someone who's cooking for 4 people and they get a new meal every time. Number 8 is, have you ever tried a meal planning service like Easy Meals? I've honestly never even looked into them. I should maybe see what they're all about. Meal planning to me is pretty easy. I pull out cookbooks, I look through, this is delicious, this is delicious, this is delicious. Sometimes when I feel like I've been spending too much money on certain foods, or I have foods I'm trying to get rid of, I try to look for recipes with that food item in it. But I basically just look through. I love having cookbooks with pictures, and I just go from there. And I do have a lot of like healthier, leaner meals, so I try not to make more than like 1 like richer food per week. How much do you eat out, and how much do you budget for that? I actually do not have off the top of my head what I budget for that. I will put in the screen somewhere how much I budget for that. But yes, we do eat out. It's not included in our grocery budget, but we have never gone over the eating out budget, or like between the grocery budget and the eating out budget, we've never gone over both. At least in the last 5 months, we haven't. We have in the past when we used to go to nicer restaurants, but right now I'm not bringing a baby who's noisy to nicer restaurants. And number 10, how frequently do you grocery shop? So that varies. I try to do like the main meal plan for 1 or 2 weeks, depending on how that goes. And beyond that, I will sometimes have to pick up milk, maybe eggs or something like that, because I didn't include it because for some reason I didn't realize I needed randomly 12 eggs that week or something like that. Or my husband gets into a real cereal binge and he eats a lot of cereal and he needs more milk. We are stocked up right now though. I got 2 gallons from Costco and I don't even drink that much milk. So question 11, which didn't really exist, she said, is there anything else you want to talk about? So when I said that I would do $200 per person, we are not vegan, so I guess meat can be more expensive, although we're not like massive meat eaters. I've had meat eaters come over to my house and I've made them dinner and they're kind of like, this is what you're giving me. But I don't intentionally buy GMO food, which is organic. They're the same thing. I don't know why they're labeled as 2 separate things. I'm not gluten-free. I don't have like any special dietary needs, but I do try to buy like the tastier or higher quality items. Or I don't want to use the word like clean in the sense that it gets used a lot, but just there's a lot of foods where if it's actually made how it was initially meant to be made, it does taste a lot better and usually is more nutritious. I don't want like a crap filler basically. And I know Wendy's going to be watching this, so if anyone else wants to answer these questions for themselves, I will have the questions in the description box, and you can comment down below and have them ready for Wendy if you haven't watched her channel, or you can go over to her channel and answer it on hers. And remember, no matter what your financial situation is, have a great day. Bye.